farm, family, community. This is Midwest Farm Weekly.
Good morning and welcome to Midwest Farm Weekly. I'm your host, Melaine Wells. In your news headlines today, crop reporting season is now officially underway in Wisconsin with some limited field activity started. While northern Wisconsin still faces lingering frost and overly wet topsoil, central and southern regions saw the commencement of spring tillage and early planting activities. Farmers were actively applying manure and fertilizer as field conditions permitted. Oat planting is now 7% complete. That's just slightly behind an average year. Spring tillage is also about 3 days behind average, with 8% of that now complete. Winter wheat is nearly all in the fair to good category, with only 4% of it measuring excellent. When it comes to topsoil moisture, 65% of the state is adequate, with the rest of the ground above or below ideal conditions. As we head into NFL Draft Week in Green Bay, local cheese plants are ramping up production to make sure they can give visitors a taste of Wisconsin. Today we feature Scray's cheese and how they've evolved from pricking up fresh milk with a horse and buggy to a modern plant with traditional recipes at the heart of their business.
They say that we're the only cheese company in the state of Wisconsin that has a drive-through window.
A quick curd run or a full fridge restock can happen at Scray's Cheese in De Pere.
So we make a cheddar, so cheddar curds and 40-pound blocks. So we do a variety of different flavors, like we do blueberry, we do fire roasted red bell pepper, we do natural, we do a natural smoked, we do all sorts of flavors. And then we do a natural red wax Gouda and a natural red wax Fontina as well.
Will is one of 6 licensed cheesemakers at the plant.
I don't think most people understand how hands-on it is. It's very much an art and not a science. It's not, it's like baking. It's not a specific set recipe where everything works out exactly every single time. It's like you have to go by the feel and by the way that the cheese reacts, because it is a live culture.
The Scray family has been making cheese for more than 100 years.
We do the same process. I have a picture up there where you can look at the viewing window and you can see that it's called matting the curd. They've been doing that this whole entire time, 100 years, and the process hasn't even changed.
But the business has grown. The 4th generation of Scrays added the retail space.
It's definitely very exciting to see customers come in. That's probably my favorite part, is being able to see a customer come in and see some of the cheeses that we make and talk about how much they love it, or that our cheese curds are the best. And everything's very physical, very handmade here. So it's all small vats, small batches. So I have a lot of pride in the product, and it's very exciting to be able to see that and be able to work with the team that we have.
Everyone has their favorites.
I really like spicy. So we have a habanero block, and that has 3.5 pounds of habanero pepper flake in it.
Will loves the classic curd.
The biggest thing is people are surprised because we end up making 1,500 pounds per vat. So like out of one vat, we'll make 1,500 pounds, and we'll make at least 3 vats of that a day. So we'll end up making 4,500 pounds of cheese curds that get sold fresh every single day.
And well, Wisconsinites eat plenty once you get outside the Badger State border.
Most people have never had a cheese curd that squeaks, that's that fresh, because when you're out of the state, it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks old, and here you can get it basically scooped right out of the vat.
So the biggest excitement for me is just introducing to these people out of state like what quality cheese is. Nobody knows that from a different state. They don't know, plus like all of the effort that goes into it, it's just really special.
Pride that shines through every step of the way.
It is like a little family, and you spend the majority of your time with the people you work with, so that really matters, and we really try to foster a culture here that's really special.
In addition to shopping that retail store in De Pere, Scray's Cheese does offer year-round shipping. After sponsoring the theatrical release of the acclaimed movie Green and Gold, Culver's is now pledging additional support for the agricultural community to celebrate its streaming debut. The Wisconsin-based restaurant chain has announced a donation of $1 per stream of the film, up to $100,000, with funds benefiting 3 organizations that work to support family farmers and agriculture education. Green and Gold follows the heartfelt story of a Wisconsin dairy farmer named Buck. It's played by Craig T. Nelson, and it explores the topics of family, pursuing dreams, overcoming hardship, and taking risks, and also includes a major bet on the 1993 Green Bay Packers. Money raised will impact Farmer Angel Network, the Farm Foundation, led Farm Family Wellness Alliance, and FFA. Welcome back. The position of Alice in Dairyland is a full-time communications and public relations job with the state of Wisconsin. The coveted role has an extensive application process. Now down to the top 6 candidates. We welcome finalist Natalie Rowe today. Nice to meet you, Natalie.
Nice to meet you too.
Give me a little background on your work in agriculture thus far.
Yeah, so I was born and raised on my family's agriculture crop farm and commercial grain elevator in Monticello, Wisconsin. So there we harvest crops and take them to like the Mississippi River to be exported or made into ethanol, as corn is. And through that, I was just really immersed in agriculture from a young age. My family loves to tell stories of how they would take my car seat out to the field when I was little so I could ride in the combine with my grandpa. But through that, I just really developed a passion for agriculture. I joined 4-H, started showing dairy, pigs, rabbits, and ducks. Basically, any animal my dad would let me bring home, I took it home. Through that, I developed a deep passion for the dairy industry and started my own small herd of registered brown Swiss with my brothers and a neighboring dairy farmer. I joined FFA in high school and really started doing career and leadership development events that helped spark my love for agriculture education and advocacy. And that led me to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I double majored in dairy science and life sciences communication to help merge my passions for both agriculture and communications.
And you are working in the industry, already putting some of those skills to use.
Yes, I graduated this past December and now work at Broadhead, which is a marketing agency, and there I am a social media coordinator helping my agriculture clients be them best selves on social media and help present their story to consumers.
Why does the position of Alice in Dairyland appeal to you?
It appeals to me because I grew up on a farm, not realizing that my parents' long hours or the community of farmers was not normal for all other kids. So I took that to heart and really appreciated how I grew up and what I learned growing up on a farm. And when I went to college, I realized that you don't only have to be a farmer to get the small feel of a community and support from agriculture. So I realized that Alice in Dairyland is a perfect opportunity to continue sharing the story that I learned through agriculture and my own experiences, as well as the support and community that agriculture provides to everyone else.
Looking back on some of those photos, certainly a lot of different organizations and experiences prepared you for this. What really stands out in your past?
One of my most fond experiences that I have had was I was the 2023-2024 National Brown Swiss Youth Ambassador, and that allowed me to travel the nation connecting with different Brown Swiss breeders, youth exhibitors, and other fairgoers that might be attending our national shows and connect with them about the unique characteristics of a Brown Swiss breed and what impact they create on the nation.
Why do you encourage people to reach out, whether it is at their local fair or attending an event or meeting Alice somewhere out there in Wisconsin? Why is that important?
I think it's really important where people not only learn where their food comes from, but just get a more deeper connection to agriculture. 1 in 10 people in Wisconsin work in agriculture or in the agriculture industry somehow. So just knowing that and being able to connect, even if it's not with Alice, but with other people who are out there working in the industry, can make a really big difference in agriculture's impact, not only on our state, but all the consumers that it's impacting.
Well, already a great voice for agriculture. We wish Natalie luck as you continue towards potentially becoming Alice. We'll be sure to update our viewers along the way. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Storm Team 5 meteorologist Alexis Staniak. You might have remembered earlier this past work week, we did have a little snowy system come through that left not a lot for northeast Wisconsin, but it did leave a couple of inches, almost half a foot came through for the upper peninsula of Michigan. So as of Thursday, still some snowpack holding for the UP and areas further to our north and west. For the entire season so far, we have accumulated over 43 inches of snowfall here in Green Bay, just under 30 inches over in the Twin Cities, just over a foot in Pierce, South Dakota, and most of the Midwest is closer to the low 20s for how much snow has been accumulated. Now for liquid precipitation, we're just under 6 inches now in Green Bay, and as we've started to warm up, we have seen more rain chances come through, so likely these numbers will continue to go up as we move throughout the next week to even 2 weeks. Numbers for the Midwest are a little bit below average. It was a rather quieter week for spring, which is typically a more active season. Numbers to our south and east, a little bit above average for precipitation for where they should be for this time of the month. But most of the country is likely to stay above average for precipitation as we head towards the middle and end of the month of April. And we have multiple rain chances in store as we head throughout this next week. NOAA released its precipitation outlook for May through July. So as we head into the summer months, most of northern Wisconsin and further into western Wisconsin will likely see below normal numbers, whereas other places to the south and east of us will likely stay above normal for precipitation. Now through the next week to 2 weeks, most of the country looks to be warm as well. We don't have any spots saying below average. We will likely see temperatures just slightly above average as we move into the next couple weeks. So towards the end of the month of April, and NOAA released its temperature outlook for April through June and even May through July, showing most of the country looks to see above normal temperatures for at least the start of the summer. Stay with us. More Ag News coming up after the break.
Well, Jeremy Hansen here from Fox Valley Technical College for Life on the Farm. And joining me today is Dr. Paul Mitchell. Paul, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Oh, thanks. I'm a professor at the University of Wisconsin in agriculture and applied economics, and I'm an extension professor. So I go out and do a lot of outreach events around the state focused on agriculture, primarily crops.
Right. And Dr. Mitchell, we're actually at a Forage Council Spring Field Day today, and you actually gave a fascinating talk about some of the economic outlook in agriculture going forward, either from the past and going forward. And you started off by talking about the cash receipts forecast for 2025. Can you maybe just summarize what you talked about? It's fascinating.
Sure. There's the farm income projections. This would be net returns after paying your costs is high this year. Second highest it's been in 50 years. What's driving that? There's a lot of crop and livestock. That's our big things, about half and half each. And crops are down a little bit, and livestock products are up a little bit. So dairy, milk, beef, things like that, as well as corn and soybeans. That's what's driving it. And crops are down a little, receipts, and livestock stuff is up a little. Yet we have a big jump in farm income this year, and that's a surprise. And it's driven primarily by the disaster payments and then the ECAP program, a new program that just signed in at the end of 2024. And so farmers are looking to have a good income this year, but not from the way they want it, not from good prices on everything.
Right. And then you had some really good advice. What are farmers to do with this outlook?
Yeah, the real issue is corn and soybeans are really, we're looking at negative margins where you work really hard and you don't make much money. You don't make enough money to pay for your time and to pay for your land. And so they have to eat those costs somehow, and they scrimp and save, but they can't control a lot of this stuff. Markets are out of their control. They can control their marketing, so they can be trying to do forward contracts, using the markets. Hiring a marketing firm is very useful. They control the crop management. They get to decide what inputs are put on, how to get their yield as cost efficiently as possible. And that's what's happening this year is the markets are really telling them to be cost efficient, to do a better job as a manager. It's not as easy as it has been the last few years.
And Paul, you switched to answered a bunch of questions of what we're all thinking right now. Well, you talked a little bit about tariffs. What's your insight about tariffs right now?
Tariffs we haven't seen that in a lot. And so remember going through school, you hear about them when we were training, a long time ago when I was in graduate school. And but I think the best way to think about them is it's like a sales tax on imports. Somebody on there, when they bring it in, something from another country to bring it into the U.S. to sell it, you got to pay a sales tax on it. That's what a tariff is. And then it works its way down the supply chain. So you're seeing pressure up on prices because we import a lot of different things. That's going to create inflationary pressures. And this variability in the tariffs, how it's not really clear what's covered, when's it triggered, what commodities, what imports are covered, some things are being exempt, and it goes up and down, and there's, they pause them.
Right, and the focus that I got out of your talk was tariffs are more of a political decision, moreover than an economic decision, correct?
Correct. I mean, economists, I'm a professional economist, there's lots of us out there, they can estimate the impacts of these. I've seen many numbers on like dairy tariffs, what that's going to do to the dairy industry. You pick your favorite number, 8 billion, 12 billion, 17 billion, whatever. But there's also, the administration believes there's a benefit to these as well. That's a political benefit. How do that's their job, is to weigh these economic costs against these political benefits. That's something I can't answer. I'm not a professional politician. So they have to answer for these economic impacts. They have to explain what the benefits are and that these benefits are worth the costs.
And last question, Paul, you know, we talked a little bit about Farm Bill. Are we going to get a new Farm Bill this year?
Oh yeah, that's what everyone wants to know. No, I actually think we're going to have there's going to be a lot of political capital and energy put into getting the budget passed for the end of September date. And then I think they're just going to extend the Farm Bill again, because I just don't think they're going to have the political energy to take it on, because there's a lot of issues they want to deal with. I expect an extension of the Farm Bill, and then hopefully next year the Congress will get to giving us a new Farm Bill.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate talking with you. A fascinating discussion we had in the meeting today.
Well, great. Thank you, and it's great to be here.
Right. So for Life on the Farm, I'm Jeremy Hansen.
Welcome back. This summer, your kids can explore baking, archery, art, and so much more. It is through Brown County 4-H, and Melinda Pollen is the 4-H Youth Development Educator here with details on all of these fun programs. Nice to see you.
You as well.
Fun that we're talking about summer camp already.
Yes.
Talk a bit about the program overall.
Yeah, so summer is really an opportunity for us in Brown County 4-H to provide opportunities for our currently enrolled 4-H members to come in and learn some new things or try some things out before they head to fair. But it's also a great opportunity for those who are not aware of what Brown County 4-H has to offer to come in at a pretty easy pace and have fun while we learn and do together. So lots of opportunities for our summer camps almost every week this summer from the middle of, as soon as school gets out, through the end of July.
What does 4-H focus on? What are some of those core principles?
Yeah, so we really focus on youth voice, youth leadership, and decision making, communication, critical thinking, all of the things that our employers say we need in our kids. But we teach that in a way that kids don't know they're learning it at all. So they think they're just having fun while baking, or while shooting archery, or while learning about flight and airplanes and making heat shields. They think they're just having fun, but at the end of the day, they're learning all of the skills that go with it.
I think our whole team. They came in and they saw me with a bow and arrow in hand, and I think they were afraid I was going to try to shoot this. But this is something kids can make?
It is. Part of our Archery Amped Up camp, we teach kids with the compound bow and the arrows, with the fletching, all of the things there. But we also really dive into the stem of how this all works. So we have them build their own PVC pipe, their PVC pipe bow and arrow. So they will get a PVC pipe that's already notched for them. They'll decorate it to their own specifications and likings. We'll put on their grip and then the string, and then they'll make their own arrows. So this is a real arrow. We have them make their own. And what we have them do is put a rubber eraser on the end. And the back, then they get to play with what kind of fletchings they would like to make to see which ones fly better, and then they test them by shooting them at our targets. So we tell them it's 100% not a toy, and we talk about the rules and safety behind it all, but we teach them with the compound bows, and then they make their own to take home as a process, and talking about all of the science behind it.
We're making elevated paper airplanes. We're using plates today.
We are, yeah. So part of our forces of flight and aerodynamics pieces is all about the 4 forces of flight: lift and weight, thrust, and drag. And so we teach that throughout the entire camp with a variety of different air moving things, like paper helicopters, where we have them drop them from a level.
Wait, this spins?
That is paper helicopter.
Any special instructions?
Special instructions: just drop it and it'll spin, because the gravity
look at that.
Pulls it down. That's the weight, but the lift from underneath is going the air pressure underneath those rotors. So we have them test with no paper clip, a small paper clip, and a big paper clip.
Okay.
So we do that as part of our program as well.
You're going to have me add a pilot to this plane.
Yeah, so one of the other things we have them build is a glider, and we use paper plates or styrofoam plates for that. Okay. So we'll trace a template onto a plate, cut it out, and then we'll cut out the rudder as well. It doesn't have much weight, as you know. Paper, like these plates, are really light, so it doesn't have enough weight to make it strong enough to pull the lift from underneath. But if we add a pilot, aka a penny, to it and tape it in, put its little seatbelt on and tape it down, and then we'll have you put that rotor right in the middle slit. It just goes right in there. So a big part on the top, and just like that, slide that in. Okay. And what that does then when you throw from the bottom is it will glide, because it has the weight in the front that's keeping it up from the air turbulence that goes down. Oh. So they fly really well.
Pretty successful. We didn't even break anything.
No, we didn't.
That's the fun. We are learning, getting hands-on, and kind of reaching into a few different career fields through 4-H. If you're looking to register for these Brown County 4-H Youth Development events, their summer camp series, you can head to the Facebook page. Melinda, is this only open to people in Brown County?
No, it is open to anyone that would like to come in for the day. We have a morning camp. Almost every week has a morning camp from 8:30 to 11:30 and an afternoon camp, different topics. As a mom, I know my kids get bored after a certain amount of time talking about the same thing. So you can come for one session in the morning or stay for both sessions and have different topics, have lunch with us and learn.
All right, well, thank you for the fun hands-on demos here. We'll link you up on our website. Head to wearegreenbay.com, click on Midwest Farm Weekly. Have a good weekend, everyone.